All right. Now, here we go. QQQ SPY, turn of events, up 1%. We're down almost 1% on the markets and on Apple this morning. The concern was the jobs report. The consensus was good news is bad news, and bad news is bad news, right? Because strong economy means you got to raise rates more, and weak economy means recession is coming. But we got a surprise. We got a mix of data that no one was really expecting, especially the Fed, where you had strong jobs, low unemployment, strong jobs reports, but wage growth came in at 0.2% versus 0.4%. And that's what everyone is talking about right now. And that could be, is that the soft landing that Tony's been looking for in our community? Maybe, but that's why futures did a dramatic turn this morning. And we'll see if this has legs. But on the other hand, this morning it was looking pretty bad for Apple because there was a report out by Samsung that they were warning on earnings and demand, lower consumer demand. And that's a bad read-through for Apple. So Apple looked like it was heading to new 52-week lows this morning. In fact, it was like nosediving into the report, heading for a new 52-week low. But this report at least temporarily saved it. Is it possible this can turn markets around? I think it is possible, at least for a bear market bounce. We'll have to see how things play out. But this is why you never go all in, and you got to diversify. And it's also why I'm generally bullish all the time. I like to pick individual stocks, and there's hedge the market by shorting the market a small percentage. That's how I like to do it because, hey, I'm an optimist, and I always want to see stocks go up and the economy to do well. But here we are. And if you were all in on a short, you might be in trouble. You might be scared this morning. So unbelievable turn of events. And you can see UUP down means interest rates lower, right? The expectation for lower interest rates now because of the wage growth coming in later than expected. Very, very interesting. We are going to have Vegas here in just a few minutes to talk about some stocks. We're going to shift our focus to mostly swing trades because we only have 5 minutes with her every morning. So we want to make sure we laser focus our efforts on swing trade targets because I know most of the people in the story trading community are not full-time traders, and swing trades may be better for us. But take a look at this. CTMX, this was a swing trade for a while. It hit our target of the 200 DMA. And right before that, I noted that there were good technicals. I said, there's a MACD flip here. RSI is low. And I'm thinking of actually holding some into the report because it looks like it could actually break that 200 DMA and make a move to the next target, which is 194, which it did. And then, so I did hold maybe about 25% into after hours. And then, bam, we get this report. Not only the data, but the big news. The big news is they have a new deal with Moderna. They just had a deal with Regeneron, 30 million cash up front a few weeks ago. Now they get 35 million cash from Moderna 3 weeks later. Oh my gosh, that blows my mind away. Upfront cash, over $1 billion, and possible milestone payments plus royalties. Unbelievable. I mean, depending on how you do the calculation, I've seen a lot of calculations out there, but this is still, even with this jump, trading near the cash value. And I think you're going to have to add some sentiment value above this. So when you look at the targets here, you can see it's above the 50-week moving average. And I'm looking at these supports here from January. So January, that's about 370. And if you go to about the 370 to maybe 4, rounded up. That's the general area where I see resistance. And you can see the 200-week moving average at 6. I don't know about that. We'll have to see how it plays out. But for today, actually, my target is 370 to the 4 area, 370 to 4. And we'll have to see if it can move to 6. But I will definitely be taking profits. I'll be trading around a core on this aggressively throughout the day. LIACF yesterday, great if you got in at 220, 221, 222. I was buying between 220 and 225. Loaded up. They're going to the NASDAQ on Tuesday. I mean, this is almost a guarantee. Every time I've seen this, the stock runs up into the event. So I'm anticipating a good day today, a good day Monday. Target is, well, the low target is 237, which is the high here on December 16th. It's already almost there, 230 by 235, and then 237, and then 270. That's my secondary target. So I know Vegas looked at this. She was bullish on it. Rex, I think, oh, no. Rex is looking at it. Didn't get a response yet. So LIACF looking pretty good. Air earnings were unbelievable. This surprised me. I was a little bit bearish going to the report. I think Gain sandbagged me. When I asked him a couple questions about the second because there was some language in the press release about the second major customer, about, is it the lead customer for the company? Is it a lead customer just for the product? And I asked him a couple questions. What do you mean by this language, lead customer? Is it, is this as important? He's their first major customer. And I don't know. Did things change that much in a few weeks, or he was just sandbagging me? Maybe he was sandbagging me. He lowered my expectations, and then boom, great report. And even like, this is probably the most bullish forward guidance, qualitative guidance I've heard from AIR since I've been following the company. And I do think that this is heading back to the highs now. The path and how it gets there, I don't know, but you can see the 25 to 27 range, I think, is coming in the foreseeable future. And remember, I went on Benzinga a couple year and 3 months ago, and I'm like, this thing's going to $50 to $100 in 2 to 3 years. I think that actually might come true here. As far as short-term price action, you also got to be aware 19% short. That could be fuel for the fire. And then here you have resistance at 2150, the 20 DMA, and 50 DMA resistance 22 and a half or so. Now, you got to be aware of Tesla. Tesla is down sharply because they slashed their prices in China, which is looked at as a bad thing, weakening demand, lower margins. So Tesla's getting hit, new 52-week low. This could have an impact on AIR, okay? Perhaps this thing, if this thing goes like down, to me, I was actually buying last night in my IRA. I don't have any trading money left. I put it all in CTMX. Now, that doesn't mean 100%. It's maybe like a 5% position, but shares that I had in other places where I could move around. Last night I was selling it to make room for to add CTMX and after hours at 240. And I'm like, nah, I'd rather do that than AIR. But I was able to do some rotations in my IRA to get more AIR at 20. So I was wrong about this. I actually shaved some off because, again, Gain sandbagged me. I shaved some off a few days ago on AIR. Thankfully, I didn't do it at the lows. I did it like 19 or so. And then I got back in and increased my position as much as I could last night, around $20. But there maybe could be an opportunity if this has a sentiment move down with Tesla during the day. So be aware of that. But honestly, I think any prices here, 20 or below, probably going to be a good buy for the intermediate term. The technicals don't look good with the 2050 bearish cross, but the fundamentals are so good that let's see, maybe you can make the bet that it's going to overcome the technicals. So AIR, really superb report. RELL, I got slammed on yesterday. Made a mistake, man. Overall on the trade, I'm down some, but not as bad as this chart looks because I bought into the report and I sold some at 22, but then I bought back at like 20, 19. I sold at the top, made a profit, and then I bought back, and then boom. I mean, the conference call was so good, but people hanging onto this idea that their semiconductor business is going to be softer in 2024, right? They got guidance from their semiconductor customers that they're expecting some softness in their fiscal year 2024, which starts in another 2 quarters, I believe. And that's why the market took this down. And you know that because they reacted to it on the conference call. Like as soon as that was mentioned, the thing started spiking down hard. So that's what they were reacting to. But the rest of the conference call was amazing. Their green energy business is exploding, and any softness they're getting from the semiconductor business will be more than made up for in all of their other areas, which means their earnings and their EPS are going to continue to grow. This PE is like 13 over here. I don't know, man. I think this is a really good deal here at the 50-week moving average 1650. Maybe selling puts a great idea. But yeah. For the short term, some of my trading shares, not good. I didn't want to sell it here at 18. I had to sell some other stuff to be able to hold this, and I'm going to be waiting for a bounce. I think I needed like 1960 to break even on the idea on my trade account on RELL. So that was a fail. Difficult, huh? Clearfield. Chris told us that Sherry speaking. I wasn't able to log back in to see. Let me see if I can see it on my other screen over here. Let's see. Yeah, Sherry speaking on January 10th, which is something on Tuesday morning. So Sherry Bernabach, the CEO of Clearfield, speaking Tuesday morning at the Needham Growth Conference. The event will be webcast, so that could be a catalyst for, yes, and a view on RELL. Julian, I did give you my view on RELL. So that could be a catalyst for the stock. Now, also want to know, this weekend we'll bring Vegas on in just a second, but this weekend, We are going to have our a show Sunday night, 9 p.m. on Zoom. We're interviewing a new CEO. That's how he found us. The CEO of ASUR is a director on Clearfield, and he saw the interview we did with Sherry, and he was very impressed with their community and with that interview. So they wanted the opportunity. He wanted the opportunity to speak to our community. ASUR, you can see it's stocks at a near 52-week high. And for that reason alone, I'm intrigued in hearing what he has to say. There's a couple analyst reports I shared in the VIP research room, so you guys can take a look at that to prepare for the CEO interview on Sunday night. I'm very, very interested. I strongly suggest you make room in your schedule to join us Sunday night, 9 p.m. on Zoom. The link is in the app. That's the CEO of ASUR. And with that, let's bring Vegas to the show. Good morning, Vegas. How you doing?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm doing great. It's Friday. Can't believe the week is flying. So yeah, it looks like a really interesting morning this morning with these little gap ups here, following those job numbers. So yeah, it looks pretty interesting morning. So
yeah,
let's see what the market's going to do.
We covered those job numbers. Market did a red to green. Interesting mix of data where you get strong jobs, but wage growth was lower than expected. Who knows? Maybe this can turn, give us a bear market rally.
Yeah, you never know. Even if it's the rallies just for the day, like just keep an open mind that trade what you see and not always what you think, because the price action's there. The market likes the information. Market could have a little pop. So let's talk about. Want to talk about some of your trades?
Yeah. I want to get your feedback on 2 or 3 stocks, and then if you have one, let us know. CTMX, this has been a swing trade for us for a while. It hit our initial target at the 200 DMA. I held some into the data, and then I was buying at 240 last night. Huge deal with not Regeneron. That was 3 weeks ago with Moderna. So what's your take on this chart at this point?
I love this chart immensely. I mean, this weekly chart's got tremendous support here at the 163 level, which is the 21 EMA. Even the 55-65, I love those levels too on the weeklies. And it's holding even at $2.80 level, even down to $2.49 if it pulled back. But honestly, I just love this whole chart, love the volume, love the price action. The news is fantastic. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised to see this head towards 350 is what I could see potentially next for today even. And, because some traders don't trade pre-market, just so you know, obviously. And so some traders will wait until the market opens. They'll see if there's a pullback and they'll look to get into the trade. So 350 is what I see next. And this even has potential, I think, towards 386. And if that was to break, this, could see 475, maybe, longer term on a swing perspective, if the fundamentals keep holding, could see like $6.06. So that's kind of
like right at the 200-week moving average too.
Yeah, and if that breaks, oh my gosh, that'll be incredible. So really liking this trade. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know that you guys were in this trade, and noticed it yesterday when it was popping, and I pulled up the chart and I'm like, wow, this is a gorgeous weekly chart. And then we took the swing trade in my community, and then boom, we had that news. That was beautiful. That was a nice one.
We are perfectly aligned on the targets. I was like at 370 or at 350. And then again, longer term as well, $6 or so, the 200-week moving average. But you're right, the fundamentals have to be there. We'll have to see how the market interprets this news and values.
Yeah, I think the market's liking it. I'm looking at the price action even on the time and sales on the tape here. And there's some good size coming through on the actual stock. So I'm really liking that as well.
Cool. All right. Awesome. So excited about that. LIACF, LICF. I pointed this out the other day. It had a great day yesterday after the news that they're uplisting on Tuesday. So we got 2 more full trading days before the uplisting on Tuesday. What do you think of this stock here?
What was the ticker again?
LIACF. I think you looked at it.
Oh, yeah, night. I have it here. Yeah, I sent you the chart yesterday. I was looking at it. Really nice. I like the uplisting news, because I usually find when the stock gets uplisted, there is good hype around the stock. Looking for this, has room. I mean, I like the fundamentals. I love the layout of the chart too. This has room, if the market's going to like the news when this gets the uplisting, has definitely room towards, 293 is potentially where it could go. Maybe more.
What's your experience with uplistings? Is the best time to sell right before the uplisting, so like Monday, right before the close, or would you hold it into day one of the new ticker on Tuesday?
Well, in the past, when I've held something going into uplisting, I've usually held the trade Obviously, the uplisting sometimes has had an effect on the market though, or sometimes it has nothing. Like people are like, oh, okay, it's uplisted, big deal. But then sometimes the market likes it and the stock will move. So it really just depends on like the sentiment around the company. Obviously, like, do the people like, is there any catalysts also coming with this company too? Because
Yeah, the
sometimes,
second catalyst
yeah,
after this, Vegas, by the way, if you're not aware, this is a lithium and uranium mining company, not yet still exploration stage, but they are spinning off their uranium into another publicly traded company. So that's another big catalyst. And that's actually what sparked the move recently. See this gap from 175? This whole
yes.
jump was then when they put out the news, they're going to be spinning off uranium.
Yeah, so you know what, and people love trading lithium stocks. Like, I know a lot of people have a lot of lithium stocks, let's say longer term. So this is really priced quite well if you like if you like that sector. So definitely, I think it'll be so interesting. I can't wait to see the market react to price action with the uplisting and the fact the sector that it's in is very attractive. So looking forward to see how does the market respond to this one in particular. So it's very exciting. I love the uplisting catalyst. So
Yeah,
love
I'm
to see how
excited.
this plays out. Yeah, this is
Definitely.
fabulous.
I'm very excited about that. All right, let me see if I can do two more quick ones with you. Air, this is one of my favorites that I read from 250 to 25 last year. They had earnings last night and the conference call was spectacular. Like, I think this stock is a $50 to $100 stock in the future. I don't know exactly when, what year, but 50 to 100, I think we're going to be challenging the 52-week highs at some point this year. But this news was just incredible. I happen to not love the technicals, but I'm thinking the fundamentals can overcome the technicals here in the intermediate term. Is there something you're seeing that I'm not? Maybe there is good technicals in there. I don't really
Which
see it yet.
which stock? Which stock?
AEHR.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's the one that you talked about on Benzinga, right?
Yep.
At
Yep.
one time.
Yep.
So this one here, okay, so yes, I do agree with you. Listen, fundamentally the chart doesn't look that great. Let me just pull it up today because it has had a little gap up this morning. You know what? I like that. I'd like to see this over $21.14. I kind of like the technicals over the 21 and 55. It is, trying to get over there. I mean, it is over the 8 EMA. Actually, sorry, I was looking at the daily. Let me pull up the weekly. Sorry. So it is over the yeah, do you know what? 2107 would be a nice break. Over the 8 EMA. It is over though the 21, but it's currently at 1937, the 21 EMA. So I do like that. But I'm not, if I look at the grand scheme of things, this chart needs work. So this chart needs work.
Yeah, I agree.
So we need buyers to actually step into this to see, if they're going to like it on AEHR. I mean, obviously, I don't know, did you see you heard their conference call? You
Oh
saw the
yeah, I did.
conference call?
It was
Yeah.
amazing. Oh my
So I
gosh.
love the fact that the revenue is up like 54.2% year over year, beats by $2.02 million. I mean, the net sales were up 67%. That is just incredible. So I think, when you have, like, people talk about, like, what do you look for when you look for a long-term stock? I would say what I like to look for too is cash flow, but I like to look at growth stocks. And people really like to look at, especially at this time, people are always concerned about recessions, and people want to be in growth plays. And I think one of the things that I'm seeing here is that this company is having some tremendous growth in a tough semiconductor market. And the thing is that it did pull back to some critical support. Well, remember the semiconductor market in the 2022 has actually suffered quite a bit. So I like the fact that this is doing really well. The growth looks really nice, and we'll have to see over time. The thing is, how is the market liking this? The market liking it right now. The stock has a lot of volatility as well, but I think definitely one to watch for longer term, like you've said. So I think the earnings are just absolutely like astounding. So definitely like it to see. I'd love to see this head towards. I'd love to see this next. I'll tell you what like my targets are. So I'm looking for this to head towards over 2107, then 2323, then looking for this to go towards 28, and then 32,
Ooh.
and then 39, and then maybe 40. So I'm
Oh
talking
yes.
longer,
We'll
like
get there
longer term.
later
Like
this
we're
year.
not
Yeah.
talking like right now, this week, next week. Over time. I definitely would never want to see the stock under $15. So if this goes under 15 for me, I'd be like, oh, you know
Oh,
what? I
and
need to make a decision here.
speaking of 15 Vegas, I don't think it's going to be over 15. I did some math last night under earnings and actually selling puts to get you an effective purchase price of 15, which also happens to be the 200-day moving average and close to the 50-week moving average there. I think that's an incredible play. The premiums on air are out of this world. I've made a lot of money selling puts on this over the last year and a half, so that's something else to look at.
And does this have options, AEHR? Oh, it does. So I'm going to look at options longer term on this because this looks
huge.
fabulous.
The premiums are huge. That's good. That's good to sell those options, actually.
Yeah,
All right.
take a look at that.
I'll just note that yesterday I failed on RELL. Market didn't see it how I saw it. It actually on the conference call, there was some stuff they didn't like, but so that trade didn't work out for me. But anything you want to point out from your watch list for today?
Well, you know what? I like the fact that the SPY has had a nice move here this morning. As long as it holds 381.50, I like it to see the SPY head towards 386 today. So looking to trade SPY. As long as it holds 381.50, like to get into some SPY calls as close to the money as possible, especially on a Friday and same day expiry. If people don't like to do same day, I always tell people, you know what? Go into something that's, you know, for next week. But you were asking me quickly for a potential swing trade because, you know, your community really likes to do swing trade ideas. And there was, you know, one company that I am looking at, not in the trade at all, but one of them that I am looking at for a swing trade is this one stock called ZLAB, ZLAB. And I like this one here. I have to research it though, so I'll probably talk more about it.
ZLAB?
Yeah, ZLAB. ZLAB.
Okay, they must have had some big news the other day.
Yeah, they did cross, you know, the 200-day, had a bit of an expansion breakout. So I'll definitely take a look and see here, so I can come prepared with some swing ideas for your community since they like the swing trades. And believe me, like I love swing trades because I find them not so stressful. This one here, what's interesting that I like about this one, I mean, this is a China biotech. Just tell you guys really quick. And this one here, the institutions own like 70%. So I was like really surprised that an institution would own 70% of a China biotech. And we know that biotechs are still going to be very strong going into 2023. So I will probably like to look at this company a little further. I'm going to probably take a look at their earnings report. I want to see their free cash flow and see, you know, what this is doing. But they did have news. I just want to quickly point out, they did have news recently that they had a pivotal study in a non-small cell lung cancer that met the survival endpoint. And that news came out yesterday. So that was actually quite exciting that they had positive readout of their LUNAR study for the phase 3, which led to significant improvements in a late stage small lung cancer. So this is very interesting and very exciting for the company. They're going to release the full results at a future medical conference. And Novocure expects to also file a pre-market approval application with the U.S. With the FDA, obviously in the second half of 2023, and they're also looking to file a obviously a patent in the European Union concurrently with the FDA submission. So I think this is one to watch because you know they do have partnerships and collaborations as well. So I definitely want to see what happens because if they're going to do this FDA stuff in second half of 2023, like I said, I think biotechs are going to be pretty big this year and looking for continuation in the biotech sector. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this one. So I'll do some more research on it, but because I haven't looked at their earnings and all that, but I'm definitely going to take a look at this one because I do like this weekly chart.
Awesome. All right. Well, I got to get going. Look at air taking off over there. I think we're going to have a great day. We're on the same page, it looks like, with CTMX and LIACF. We'll see what happens. So thanks so much, Vegas. Really enjoyed having you on the show this weekend.
Thank you so much. And congrats everyone on CTMX. That was an amazing trade. Love it.
Yep. All right. And make sure you guys can follow Vegas at I Love Stocks 1 on Twitter. Did I spell that right? You see it up on the screen?
Yeah. ILUV. Yep. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Awesome, guys.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. And see you Sunday night for our interview with the CEO of ASUR. Let's kill it today.